Happy full moon Tuesday, everyone. This is Mary Elizabeth with Sacred Love Tarot. Thank you so very much for turning up and tuning in, for liking, subscribing, commenting, hitting the notification button, and sharing. Everything you do here helps this channel grow and is greatly appreciated. So we have some energy here in regards to the full moon, your higher self energy, what your guides want you to know, what you need to release, what you need to accept, what you need to walk away from. We're going to cover a little bit of all of that in this pick a letter reading. So we are using the Crow Tarot, the Sacred Forest Oracle, the Messages from Spirit Oracle, and one more, but I don't remember which. But that's okay. Oh, the Energy Oracle. Yes, it's right there. So we are going to take a minute. We are going to close our eyes. We are going to take a deep breath. We are going to exhale. We are going to release all the stresses of the day. Anything that you have been pondering or wondering about. Releasing anything that has been a distraction to you. We are going to ask our spirit guides, our angels, protectors, guardians to come in, to guide us to what we need to know, what we need to release, what we need to walk away from, what we need to hear. I'm going to take another deep breath. I'm going to exhale it. As we exhale, we're just relaxing, feeling really good about where we are, what we're doing, the space we're in. Now that you've picked your letter, picked your pile, we're going to move on to pile number 1 in letter Y. I'll be right back. Welcome back, darlings. If you've picked pile number 1 in letter Y, this is your reading. So I have a few decks here. I'm not sure what I want to start off with. I think I want to start off with your life purpose. Time to decide. So your life purpose is all about weighing the options of something. It is also about being open to many opportunities and possibilities around you, and considering what option, right? And this is what I want to say about this card. I don't feel that we have to go through life checking yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no on different opportunities that come our way, or different possibilities that come our way, be it in career or any aspect of our life. I believe that energy is constantly flowing. I believe that ideas and possibilities and opportunities are constantly presenting themselves to us. And I think that these opportunities and possibilities and ideas present themselves to us because we are supposed to be on this adventure of life, and to keep ourselves in a box and to keep ourselves conformed to going down one path or doing this one thing and not really exploring the possibilities, exploring our options, exploring these adventures, exploring these opportunities really does what we are capable of doing. It's an injustice to ourselves. So Spirit is saying it's time for you to make a decision based on what you truly desire. Right? And what I want to say is nothing is ever set in stone. And I see the stone all around her, and she's weighing this stone against this. Is it a feather or is it just a shell? It's 2 shells. And she's trying to balance it all out. And I understand that, trying to weigh the options is a great thing. But I really don't believe that we are put here to conform to one possibility, or one heart's desire. I think we have the potential to tap into many different things and succeed in many different things and use that success to elevate us into different ideas, different possibilities, and different opportunities that we can also choose or not choose. And that is the freedom that we have. The freedom that we have is that we are able to choose. We are able to choose one thing, we are able to choose many things, and we are able to walk through the door of many opportunities and possibilities and find what resonates with us at this point in time in our lives. So, weighing your options and time to decide. And these are the, I believe, um, what deck is this? I believe this is the Life Purpose deck. So, options and time to decide. All right, then we have the self-sabotage card and the nature card. So remember how I was talking about how, conforming to societies, you have to just, do one thing. And I think that when we do that and when we um, walk into choosing one opportunity and one possibility and one adventure and then deciding if we take being forced, it's almost like forced to decide if we want this or that instead of testing the waters. I think we sabotage ourselves. We sabotage our true inquisitive nature. We sabotage our true exploratory nature. We sabotage our ability to grow and to expand. And the self-sabotage card is all about you getting out of your own way and stopping yourself. Stop putting barriers in front of yourself. Get out of your own way. Allow that energy to flow. It's also about listening to your inner voice, right? Listening to that, not so much the inner voice, but the intuition. The inner voice is what derails us. The intuition is what leads us on the many adventures. So you're also being guided to take some time to heal a little bit, to take some time, to make time, to get out in nature, to spend some time among the trees and the flowers and the sand and the ocean or the rivers or the streams or the creeks or the forest or the mountains, the meadows, my favorite. Um, Spend some time out among the birds and the butterflies and the crickets and the dragonflies and listen to it all talk to you. Listen what it has to say. Allow the nature around you to absorb, take away, transmute that negative energy, that self-sabotage energy, into a time of being open to many opportunities and many possibilities, and being open to healing and being open to change and being open to your natural ability, your natural desire to be curious about life. So we have the cornucopia, and we have rest and rejuvenation. We also have the thinking woman. So I feel that this is you, and you're all up in, trying to learn what makes you tick, trying to learn what makes you happy, trying to learn, going through this transformation of relearning, I want to say, relearning about you, right? And by muting the voices in your head, by taking some time out and going out in nature and resting and rejuvenating and meditating and allowing the trees, the grass, the forest, the mountains, the creeks, the rivers, the oceans to absorb all of that self-sabotaging energy and to bring it back to you in an energy of possibilities and an energy of transformation. I think that you are well on your way to making decisions that have the opportunity to be very valuable to you. Um, as far as your tarot cards, we have the Three of Cups, or I'm sorry, the Five of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. So I also feel like you're being guided to step away from relationships that don't benefit you, to step away from relationships that have manipulated you. It's time to decide that. Time to decide to walk away from what no longer serves you or benefits you. Time to step away from relationships that may have um, gained your trust and then ghosted you or manipulated you and hurt you. And now you're on this self-exploration journey of finding yourself and who you are again. And when you are able to let go of that self-sabotage tendency because of the hurt and pain or anguish that came from this relationship that took you for granted. The Knight of Cups is someone who wears their heart on their sleeve, someone who loves the thought of being in love, someone who loves the thought of passion and desire and intimacy and making promises and everything that comes with those intimate relationships. But when it comes time to delivering, the Knight of Cups is also someone who wanders off, who doesn't have the wherewithal to follow through on these relationships, on these promises, and then leaves, ghosts you, right? And I think that's what the Five of Cups is all about. It's that sadness, that hurt, that pain that comes from someone taking advantage or taking you for granted. Perhaps you fell in love with someone. Perhaps they have caused great pain in your life. So now you're reevaluating, where you are, reevaluating your options, reevaluating how you spend your time and the environments that you create around yourself and the people that you accept in your life. So we have the card of retreat and we have the card of trust. And I feel that your higher self, spirit source, is really calling upon you to take a step back here with the retreat and the rest and rejuvenation card, and to trust yourself again, to trust your heart, to trust your decision-making process, to trust your intuition, and also to trust in your ability to move forward. The Ace of Pentacles is a time of stepping into what is the beginning of this cornucopia, this abundance, this happiness, this um, manifestation of your dreams and desires, and the manifestation of you taking control and balancing it all out and moving forward, moving through the darkness, moving through the pain, moving through the hurt, moving forward, and trusting in yourself that you're able to create this new version of you. And because I said you, I want to go with the why. And the why is why? Why? Because it's all about you. Why? Because it's redefining yourself. Why? To make you a more productive, a more successful, a more energetic, a more, uh, what's the word, Spirit? Secure person with yourself. You can't be productive for your own life if you're sitting in a place of sadness and heartbreak or heartache because some douche can't follow through with his own promises or with their own promises, right? You can't sit in a place of self-sabotage because someone has done this to you. You can't stop living your life because someone has broken your heart, right? So we have to get into this mindset of learning about who we are, about our strength, about our intuition, about our connection with source and spirit and higher self and God or whomever it is that you choose, and trust that connection, trust that strength, trust that everything will be okay. Trust that, and trust that this is all about you. All about you. And why is it all about you? Because you're important. Because you matter. Because you are a divine, energetic, feminine being of light and love. And there are so many people, past, present, future, whose lives you have and will change. And there are many paths for you to follow, and paths for you to go down, and adventures for you to have, and lessons for you to learn. And all of this is important for you. All of this is meant for you. So take a step back, retreat, rest, rejuvenate. Let go of that self-sabotage tendency that you have. And start learning about you. Start learning about who you are as you go through this time of transformation. And trust yourself. Because we trust you. We trust you. And that's why. So know that you are divinely guided in love. Know love, be love, give love. Take care of you. All right, pile number 2, letter X. X for extra. X for give yourself a little extra time, extra attention, extra love, extra devotion. Give yourself a little something extra. So what are we going to do first? What are we going to do first? What are we going to do first? I feel that we should do the tarot first. So we have the Queen of Cups, the 10 of Cups, which, by the way, just put that right there, and the Moon. So I'm just going to go with transformation here. I'm going to go with you transforming into a time of learning how to love yourself again and allowing other people to love you. Being filled with compassion again and empathy for not only yourself and your trials and tribulations, but the trials and tribulations of others. And I kind of feel that for a long time you have shut yourself down to be emotionally invested in real relationships, like stable relationships, partnerships, engagements, marriages, kind of things like that. Because perhaps how you were brought up to show love and accept love is quite different than how love is supposed to be. So in my instance, I grew up thinking love was yelling and screaming and physical abuse and emotional abuse and just total chaos and devastation and shutting down and cheating. It's my mom and my dad. So when I was a kid, had a different idea, right? And then as I grew up, those ideas stuck with me along the way. And my first ever relationship was with someone who was just as chaotic, just as physically abusive, emotionally, sexually, as my mom and dad were to each other, minus the sexual abuse part. So we define what we think relationship should be and love should be by those who we look up to in our lives. And my only connection to that were the two unhealthiest, chaotic, abusive people ever. So I think that we have to get out of that mindset of conforming to, and I use that word a lot lately because it's been coming up a lot lately, conforming to society's standards, conforming to this is the way love should be, or this is the way intimacy should be, or this is the way your life path should be, or this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And I think that we're all individuals, and none of us are really the same. We may have Some of us may have the same experiences, but we are all just completely different. And the way one person sees love and admiration and respect and empathy could be totally different than the way someone else sees that. And we all have to look at our lives and ourselves and how we relate to this in our own way. And I feel for you, my love, you have so much love to give and so much compassion to give and so much empathy to give and so much caring and so much joy and happiness to give. And I feel that the past has you feeling awkward or uncertain about yourself. And the moon card for you is just all about releasing that hidden within, right? And I feel that this is a time of transformation for you, of finding yourself again, finding your true self. And I feel like you have been on this path many times, but I think now you get it. Right? You get it. So you're being guided to take the leadership role here. And from this comes this infinite abundance of love for self and love for others. And I think that there needs to be a cleansing here, a cleansing of your mind and body and soul, and taking the time out for some much needed self-love and releasing and letting go and connecting spiritually, emotionally to your higher self and source, and really coming out of that shell and opening up to the spiritual energies around you when it comes to taking control over the certain part of your life that you feel so out of control. And then we have You Are Not Alone. We are here for you. We've never left you. Through all the sadness and loneliness, you cannot sense us near you or feel how much love we are sending you. We are your family, friends, and guides. You never walk alone. We walk right beside you. So this could be, again, not to beat a dead horse, relating to someone who has passed, and perhaps that is the reason why you have a hard time connecting with others on an intimate level. And as I was saying before, what intimacy, how intimacy was defined to you when you were young and impressive, right? Impressive, inspirational. How it impacted you. I can go 200 words and still won't find the right one. How it impacted you in your life. Then we have prosperity and healing, and we talked about um, cleansing here and healing here, and understanding that you're not alone, that your past loved ones are here with you, and finding that strength within to take a step back and to cleanse all the stagnant energy, or that all of that energy that has been with you throughout this time, or this process of learning who you were and trying to redefine who you are as this spiritual being having this experience, and then stepping into that leadership role and creating the intimate relationships that you desire to create for yourself, and allowing the prosperity to come from that. And prosperity does not only mean financial prosperity. Prosperity can mean so many different things. An abundance and prosperity of love, compassion, empathy, healing, um, purpose, emotional prosperity, spiritual, physical. So I feel like your higher self is saying this is a time for you to really find you again after a loss, or really defining you again after what you were subjected to when you were younger, and now finding that part of you who's able to connect with people on many different levels. And I don't feel it's just an intimate sexual partnership level. I also feel friendship levels as well, and partnership levels that don't necessarily contain intimacy, and trying to differentiate between the friendship, partnership, intimate relationships. So then we have the strength, and I like that the strength is with the healing. We have the lion and the bear, and I think they both constitute as strength and power and what's the word? And taking control and taking charge. And then we have the temple path. And the temple path, I see you spending time in nature and communing with the fairies, the fae, your angels, your guides, and looking for a place or already being guided to a place that allows you to release and just sit in a moment of rest, rejuvenation, cleansing. And if you've chosen two, I wouldn't be surprised if you've chosen one as well. And I think both of them kind of go hand in hand with taking charge of your life and trying to find that divine purpose and not putting yourself in a box and stepping out into your own and stepping into a time of healing and cleansing and releasing, but also stepping into a time of taking back what I feel others have taken from you. And I think this is a very transformational time for you. I think that that full moon or that moon energy, and because tonight is the full moon, I think that moon energy is all about you healing and cleansing yourself of a very emotionally unstable path, but has the potential to lead to prosperity and your divine life purpose. So that is for you. Pile number 2 and letter X. Know love, be love, give love. Till next time, take care of you. All right, if you have chosen deck number 3, you received the letter F. Freedom, family, financial independence. Those are the words that come up first. We're going to put the letter F there and see what our cards have to say. So I'm starting right off with, so yeah, we have, there comes a moment in time where we're just stuck in our heads and we don't allow ourselves the freedom to see particular situations for what they truly are. And we go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and we try to justify our ignorance to whatever the situation is, and we try to justify the situation. So we, close our eyes and we put ourselves, we get up in our head, and it's kind of like the hear no evil, see no evil, be no evil kind of thing. And I think with the Hangman, you're being guided to take a step back and really truly see what's going on here. We understand that, sometimes it's best to just ignore the problem, and sometimes, perhaps for you, it's just best to pretend like it doesn't exist. But it does exist. It very much does exist, and there is no potential of you moving forward if you are not seeing the situation for what it is. And I know there's this back and forth within you. Should I, shouldn't I, should I, should I, should I do, what should I do, what should I do? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of like all up to you, right? You are, you are the one in this, this situation, and as much guidance as I give, the idea of taking a step back and really looking at this and coming to the conclusion of, do I allow this to keep me in the state of victimhood or change to the bullshit around me, or do I fight to release myself from this? And in the life purpose card, there's counseling, and there's also the builder. And I feel that being able for you to talk through your problems, being able for you to resonate and relate to someone in regards to whatever's going on, with you, it has the potential of you really taking a stand, taking control, stepping away, stepping back, stepping out. And this is, to be honest, this makes me feel like this whole tower moment thing. And I feel like the tower should be jumping out at any minute in time. But the builder, that's your ability to create something that brings depth and depth and accomplishment to your life. So by taking a step back, away, out of this situation, and starting to heal yourself and recognizing this, whatever this is, for what it is, and stepping away back out of it and building something that for yourself that you can be proud of, and not continue to be victimized, or not continue to be um, naive or ignorant to this this situation that you have found yourself in, right? So let's see, what else do we have? We have the angel of balance, and we talked about counseling. We talked about you speaking your truth, and here we have the fifth chakra archangel Michael, and this is about you speaking your truth, saying what it is that you have to say, saying how you feel, expressing, but also being able to listen, and also being able to um, take, absorb the knowledge that comes from those who are more experienced than you, as opposed to shutting off and shutting down, right? There has to be a balance between these two. You speaking your mind, saying what you have to say, being vocal about how you feel, being vocal about being out of this situation, being vocal about being, I'm not going to say victim, but I will say survivor of this particular situation, and also allowing yourself to be open to the critique, the words, the truth. Because if you get to speak yours, then they get to speak theirs. Well, we get to speak ours, right? And with this, um, you're building healthy communication. You're building healthy relationships. You're building a healthy connection, and that's where the balance comes in. And you have to accept your part that you have played in this relationship, partnership situation. Um, you have to accept your part, because nobody put you in a position of saying, okay, be blind to my bullshit, or be blind to what's happening here, right? You decided to do that. You decided to be blind to, when I was in the relationship that I was in, my first real relationship at the age of 19, it was full of physical abuse and emotional abuse and sexual abuse, and I had two children, and it wasn't him forcing me to be blind to his chaos and crazy. It was me going, well, maybe I did something wrong. Well, maybe it was me. I'll have another kid. Maybe, maybe by having someone else to love, that he'll be okay. I was making all these excuses. I was putting this chain around myself. I was putting all these swords around myself, thinking that it was me, it was me, it was me, it was my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault. Never once did I say, you know what? That asshole has a problem, and that problem needs to be taken care of. I got to get out of here. Um, so it is not other people who put us in that situation. It is our head that puts us in those situations. It's listening to that ego mind, listening to that inner voice that is saying to you, it's your fault, what you did, what you did, what you did, what you did. And there's sometimes we have to take a step back, and sometimes we have to talk to someone outside and kind of throw this scenario at them, and just really listen to what they have to say. And when they are telling you that by staying, or by putting up with this, or by making excuses for this, you allow the problem to be, or to happen, or to continue. You have to listen to that, and you have to take accountability for your part here too, right? So you're being guided, not kinda, you are. You're being guided to go with this flow, right? To allow this to happen, to be open to this conversation, to this change, to this different situation, because I feel that it is a different situation. And how I feel, and okay, let me just say this. When people are in relationships like this, or it doesn't even have to be an intimate relationship. It could be a partnership, it could be a friendship, it could be a job environment. It doesn't just have to be a physical sexual relationship. When people are in situations like this, the last thing that we want to hear is, you need to take accountability and acceptance for your part in this. We lose our minds, because what we hear is, this is your fault. This is your fault. That's what we hear. All of this is your fault. But what's truly being said here is that the person who is on the other side of this, their accountability when we are in this position, this situation, it doesn't matter, because they're not here, right? We are searching for that help for ourselves. We can't continue to point the finger at no one who's there. So we have to take accountability and acceptance for the part that we play in this bigger scheme of things. And we have to start building up our skin and accepting, the part that we play. And the part that we play is that we give the permission to. We give the permission to be treated like this. The longer we stay and the more we make excuses for it. We give permission for this to happen. The more we're in our head, the more we go back and forth with ourselves, the more we make excuses, the every blade that we have placed around us is just enabling this person or these people to continue treating us the way that hurts us, and continue treating us the way that doesn't allow us to speak, or doesn't allow us to have creative freedom, or doesn't allow us to stand in our own power and our own strength, or doesn't allow us to speak our truth. And then we start making this scenario, this vision of ourselves as being a slave to, or a victim to, or trapped in. And you're not a slave to, or a victim to, or trapped in anything. We take accountability, we take acceptance, and we take the stand. We get out, we do what we have to do. We start building a better lives for ourselves, and then we start going with the flow. Look, I was there for 5 years. I was there for 5 years. My mother and father were very abusive. There wasn't anything I could do about it then. My mother and father gave me, at the age of 13, to a pedophile. Everybody knew. Everybody in the town knew. No one did anything. So I thought at the age of 13 to the age of 18 that this is what I deserved. And then at the age of 19, I found someone to marry. He saved my life. I thought it was the best thing ever. This is really someone who's going to love me and treat me right. And the first time he punched me off of a bar stool in his father's house, I was 3 months pregnant with his son. And that shit continued, along with sexual abuse, from the age of 18 to the age of 25. So, and every single time he would do it, I would make an excuse and make an excuse and make an excuse, with knowing in my head that there's no excuse for this. Knowing. And every single time I made an excuse for him, it allowed him to continue to do what he did without having accountability. So I had to accept that I played a huge role in this situation. And so after 5 years, and with help of some Jehovah's Witness, I got out. And it didn't stop until I completely left Oklahoma. So that's that story. So we have to take accountability for the parts that we play. And we have to find our flow, find our passion in life, and move forward with accepting that this isn't where we should be, and then making the decision through help to move somewhere else, to be somewhere else. So you have the card of forgiveness, and you have the card of support. So I want to put forgiveness here and support here. People come into your life for many different reasons. Some you learn from, and then they move on. while others return, often because you need to learn more from those individuals. Others remain beside you throughout your entire life. And I feel that this counseling card and this acceptance card are people who are coming into your life at this time to help you heal. And then we have forgiveness. Holding on to resentment and holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or even suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest and most damaging of human emotions. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. So I feel that this is you forgiving you. This is you forgiving you. And now the way that you are showing forgiveness for yourself is getting the support that you need and going with this transformational flow. We have light. Imagine yourself as a being composed of energy and light, because in reality, that's precisely what you are. You are a powerful being, and people are attracted to your brilliance. This is a time to remember how vibrant you truly are. This is about you stepping into that light. This is about you stepping into that power. This is about you understanding how powerful you truly are, and that there is no one, regardless of the situation, that is able to take that from you. And then you have hello from heaven. Your loved ones in the spirit world want to connect with you as much as you want to connect with them. They know you've been thinking of them, and they're sending you signs and symbols to show how much they love you and to prove that they are with you at this time. So if you have noticed that since you've started on this acceptance and transformational journey, this journey of forgiveness and support and acceptance and building a new life for yourself, if you noticed more of dragonflies or butterflies or things that you haven't noticed, that you didn't notice a lot when you were in this situation, that is your family, your support system on the other side, letting you know how proud they are of you and how they wish the best for you. So we are all capable of speaking to those on the other side. So if you have a family member who was rock that you were able to lean on and talk to during this time, and that's what I was guided to say, and I want you to know that they're there and they're around you, and they're absolutely proud of you and the steps that you have taken to build a better life for yourself. And they can hear you if you talk to them. So get to talking, get to chatting. Know that you're divinely guided and loved, my friend. And until next time, take care of you.